And we're back in the room once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once more to the Caiman Show. My guest today, a pleasure for you all, no doubt. She is an independent, chart-topping, classical crossover singer. You may have seen her as a finalist on The Voice UK 2021 on part of Team Will.I.Am. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, now yours, Nadia Eide. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you so much. Wow, what an intro.
Well, you know, we do try on you. No expenses spared, you know. How things been? You doing okay?
Good, yeah. Been keeping busy after The Voice and stuff, you know, and getting stuff booked in, and yeah, just enjoying myself, really.
Excellent. That's what it's all about. How's COVID been for you? Obviously, you were a singer prior to The Voice as well. You've been in the business for a time. Did COVID have much of an effect on you? Did it turn things upside down at all?
Absolutely. I think there probably isn't a person alive that hasn't been affected in one way or another.
I'd say.
I just had my entire diary just disappear overnight. You know, a whole year's worth of concerts and bookings and things just go, you know, and I was in South America doing some shows at the time when all this kicked off, you know, and I had to fly back to the UK and was suddenly found myself at home a lot more, which is probably why, you know, I thought, well, I need to keep singing. I need to do something. So I did some lockdown concerts online and you know, just got lots of musicians and things involved in that to keep people, you know, playing and being creative, because my goodness, when it struck, it was just like your creativity just went for a while, because, you know, you're not sure what's happening in the world, if we're going to be able to get back to it anytime soon, or, you know, so it was just about staying busy. And I think that's why is one of the main reasons why I signed up for The Voice, you know, just to keep singing and doing something.
Definitely, 100%. That's great. You mentioned your lockdown concerts that you did. Extraordinary amounts of views on those as well, as they went down a storm, yeah?
Yeah, crazy. You know, I think we had over 60,000 views in total. You know, I did 2 big concerts and just tried to get as many fantastic artists collaborating with me in one way or another. So just a stream of duets and, you know, anything from, you know, I have a pianist friend who lives in Canada. I had a violinist who's in the Czech Republic. Like, we were literally, I was just calling up my friends going, do you want to collaborate? Do you want to do a duet? And like, you know, and singers from the US and things got involved. And yeah, so it was really good. And I'm glad we were able to entertain. It was a lot of work, but, you know, I loved it. It was good.
Yeah, it's like putting on a totally different hat, though, isn't it? You know, it's like a lot of bands and a lot of singers and performers I've spoke to, they've never touched digital before, nothing to do with it at all, and they've all gone, oh, we've had to keep the game moving, to keep things alive. We've had to, one of them had to become a graphic designer of sorts as well, creating this YouTube platform and everything. The other then had to figure out how we could, you know, from their own homes, all get together on the one screen and perform. So it's like a bit destructive on the one hand, but a new breed of creativity arising on the other, you know?
Yeah, I think everyone from, you know, even lawyers and things, you know, I have some family who are lawyers, and just, you know, people with normal jobs as well have had to adapt to this new kind of this Zoom and world that we're all living in, and, you know, Skype and things like that to do meetings. And yeah, it's completely revolutionized everything. And I think a lot of these things will be used going forward even.
I 100% agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, we're living in that age now where it's almost become the norm, and definitely it's like you have to learn a ton of new skills, you know, with mixing and mastering. And I mean, I do a lot of recording at home anyway in the studio, but you know, to be able to mix and master, do the sound for something and then stream it live, it was, yeah, a lot of work. But yeah, skills.
Yeah, that's it, you know, and Zoom is the new norm now as well, so it seems to me. Back in the day, Zoom was nothing more than a nice lolly, you know. That's what I knew as Zoom back in the day. I was like, all right, we're having a Zoom meeting. It's like, what are we gonna do? Film each other eating a lolly or what, you know? But yeah, I understand there's a bit more to Zoom than that now anyway. But also I understand obviously a bit of time has gone by now, but congratulations are in order for the tiny pitter patter of feet. How's everything there?
Good, yeah. So I had I have a 2-year-old already, and so I had my second son. Actually, pregnant throughout last year, and doing the voice like 8 months pregnant at the end.
Yeah.
Hilarious, but yeah, it was good. Yeah, so now they keep me busy as well, but they're both really good and they sleep really well. So
Oh,
I
excellent.
count myself very lucky.
Brilliant. And it's 2 boys you got, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in for a world of hurt when they hit their teens, let me tell you.
Yeah, I know. I don't know
Brilliant.
what would be worse, girls or boys, but
Yeah,
yeah.
so there's good and bad on both sides, I think, Nadia,
Yeah.
but it's just taking the rough with the smooth. So yeah, congratulations on that. Obviously, so as you've just mentioned yourself, you were pregnant going into The Voice. Were you pregnant at the time that you applied? What was the time scales there? Or
Yeah, because it's such a lengthy process, So I already kind of started chatting with the people from The Voice like March last year. So, and it wasn't until October that I actually had my blind audition where they filmed that. So of course, you're doing a lot of rounds of auditions before you even get to that stage. So I was kind of just like, oh, whatever will happen. Both things won't happen, of course.
yeah,
Wonder if that will happen.
surprise.
Yeah, the way life works is funny. But I recorded a whole album when I was pregnant with my first son, when I was like 2 weeks away from giving birth. So I knew I could do it. So it was just a case of whether or not they would let me continue, being, COVID times and things. I wasn't sure that, there were so many rules and they were so careful with everything with us. The Voice anyway, and we had our own mics and everything was sanitized all the time, and they were so careful but they were so supportive and they actually loved it. So I was just really thrilled, and to be able to keep busy as well, singing and all. It's hard when all your concerts and things just disappear. It was nice for me to try some new ideas and things musically as well.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. So obviously you got going into The Voice. So before we continue about The Voice, tell, for those who don't know, for those who are unfamiliar, give us a little bit of background on yourself, on how you got into the musical world, what you've done in the past, so on and so forth, and then we'll go from The Voice there.
I come from a big family, and my parents met in a rock band in the 70s, so I have no idea where the classical
what they were both in a rock band?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so my dad was a drummer and my mum was the singer in the band. So yeah, they always had that kind of rock music, or and a lot of my siblings are into metal music.
Yeah.
And that's big in Scandinavia anyway. So I grew up with hearing that kind of music in the house, but nothing classical. So I started doing singing lessons when I was about 12, and I was so shy. I had to get my singing teacher to sing along with me. I was that shy, I always could sing, but, it was having the the confidence to get up and sing.
Yeah.
And that changed completely when I was around 14 or 15. And I decided, yeah, this is something I want to do, because it actually helped me come out of my shell a bit. So yeah, I've just been I moved to the UK when I was 18 and I studied music here. And then I just worked solidly in theatre mainly, doing musicals and operas and operettas and things. And concerts didn't happen until I was, a few years older. And I started doing concerts kind of in between shows. And discovered that actually I really love this. And I love coming up with my own vocal arrangements and making things suit me rather than, being told where to stand and what to do all the time. I think you reach a point where you kind of either love that or you want something more. So I wanted to push myself a bit, also vocally, because I remember at college, they were saying, some of my teachers were saying, oh, all these high notes you have, it's incredible, but you'll never use them because, there are no roles written for that or whatever.
Yeah, how wrong were they?
Oh, that's such a shame. Yeah, and I was like, I should write something, or I should make something and create something where I can actually use my voice properly in the way, that the resource I have. So, and that's kind of how I got into it. And, I'm very kind of goal orientated. I know what I want. And I work hard for it. So, moving away from my family at 18 was tough, but I think, I made the right choice. And, And, you know, now I'm stuck here because I'm married with 2 kids.
Oh, no, look out. But you do get lovely holidays.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Excellent stuff.
Yeah.
Nah, good stuff. Talking of Scandinavia, obviously, I was the other week, I had a gentleman by the name of Key Marcello on. Are you familiar with Key? He's a guitarist and a vocalist in the band Easy Action and Europe as well. Yeah, he was on the other week. We had a good chat. What a lovely man, you know. So it must come from the geographical origin of these people, you know. He was a great guy, great to talk to.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was cool. But yeah, so we'll jump back into The Voice then. So you were how far along were you going into The Voice, first of all, when the blind auditions hit?
I think it was first trimester. I think I was like 13 weeks pregnant or something.
Yeah.
So I wasn't quite, I mean, I was just showing, but maybe only I would know that. But just very early on. So yeah. And then I think when we did the battles, I was about 20 weeks.
Right. You can respectfully, might I add, note the difference as time goes on, you know. But
oh yeah, it's really spread out, and yeah. So the whole filming process, like when it's shown on TV, it's week after week, you know, things happening. But actually, the whole process was a lot longer, and there's a lot of work behind that goes on behind the scenes, you know, with music choices and working with in the band and things that, you know, there's so much work that goes into it. And then the workshops with our coaches, and Will.I.Am was just, you know, as awesome as he comes across on TV.
I was going to ask about Will.I.Am. Is he that much of a legend as he comes across?
He really is. Yeah, he really honestly is.
It's not just a gimmick. No, that is him.
Yeah. And he's actually really hilarious. Like, he'll say the funniest thing off camera, and then, you know, of course they edit things so quickly because they don't have time to show everything that goes on. But, you know, there were so many funny moments that, you know, didn't even make the cut, you know. But all the coaches, I have to say, were like, I was blown away with how nice they were. And you know, Ollie Murs is lovely, so nice. Anne Marie's so nice. Tom Jones was like, he would always just go on about all the opera stars and things he knew. And I had lunch with, you know, Bryn, and
dropping
like,
all those names over his feet.
Yeah, like name dropping. I was just like, this is incredible. These are people like that I've looked up to in the classical world, and, you know, they're just his mates, you know. And yeah, incredible, so surreal. And I was so starstruck as well.
Yeah, I bet.
But after a while, you get so used, when you're filming a lot with them, you kind of get used to seeing them. But still, it was so surreal every time.
Brilliant. What an experience. So first of all, how did you feel when the 2 chairs spun round for you? It was Will and Anne Marie, I believe. Was that right? And did you, honestly, before going in, have one in mind that you would like to tag up with?
Well, 100%, because I think Will.I.Am was always the best choice for me, because I like doing something different with classical crossover. I'm not your kind of standard classical singer. I like to put a spin on things and transform the genre. And what I really want is for people to get into this kind of music more. And I want it to be in the mainstream. You know, I love picking rock songs, metal songs, whatever, and transforming them and you know, making them more accessible, and putting my spin, using my voice to basically sing the songs I like, you know. And so I knew I was going in there doing something very different. But I knew that out of all of them, Will.I.Am would probably be the best choice. So I did have him in mind 100%, because I just thought he would be the best coach. So it makes you a little bit more nervous when you kind of feel you just want that one person. And also, I was on the last day of auditions, so there weren't that many places left. I think Ollie had filled his team already. Tom only had one, and then Will.I.Am had only one, and I think Anne Marie had 2. So it was just like at the end, you know, and they're so picky at that point that I was just like, oh God. But yeah, and I got Will's last place, so it was like it was meant to be.
Excellent stuff. I think it was meant to be, you know.
Yeah, honestly, when I was stood there, I was so nervous because, you know, it's been a while since I've sung on stage, like about 7 months, you know, since my last concert. And so, you know, suddenly you're on TV auditioning for something. So it's crazy. And you go in there, and there was no audience this year because of
because of COVID. They had the screens, everyone on the screens, isn't it? Yeah.
So I just had this wall of screens looking at me, and then these 4 backs of these 4 chairs, which are so iconic and real. When you see them in real life, you're just like, oh God, it's really scary. And then they make you do this like long walk to the stage. And then I started singing, and I was just like, just get through the song. And I could feel my heart thumping, you know, like, and I was just like, breathe. Cause I honestly, like, I had no breath. Like I was so nervous all of a sudden. I'm not really someone who gets that nervous on stage, but normally when I can see an audience, they relax me, and I can see like people's reactions, and that then I know they're enjoying it, and that gives me something. Whereas like auditioning like that, where you can't see anybody, was terrifying. You're just like, I hope they're enjoying it. And then they waited until the last minute, but obviously I couldn't see all their reactions. So they waited until like the last minute to turn, but obviously they were enjoying it. But I was literally in my head thinking, okay, what did they tell me? If you don't get a turn, you need to go back. And then was it right or left I had to exit? Like I was thinking this in my head, thinking they weren't going to turn, but then they did. And so it was like the biggest relief, like honestly. Yeah. Oh.
Brilliant. Yeah, I was going to ask, were you at that point, so you weren't expecting anyone to turn at that point, were you? You convinced yourself that it wasn't going to happen, or?
Yeah, I thought maybe because I was classical that either they would go, oh wow, and press because it's so different, or they just wouldn't. You know, I've experienced both in my life where you're either kind of, you know, the niche thing, and people love it, or, you know, they're just like, oh no, I don't know what to do with that. So I thought it would be the latter, because no one turned at first. But then I should have thought that, you know, it's at the end and they're doing this for TV, and
exactly, yeah.
And they're actually sat there listening. Whereas I don't see any of that. I'm just like, they're not going to turn, you know.
Yeah, it's a long time, a song as well, isn't it? For when you're waiting for something to happen.
It's like a minute and a half, but it's like the longest minute I've had in my life. Yeah. And to actually watch it back, like on TV, to see their reactions was amazing. It was a great feeling because I hadn't seen their reactions. And obviously when you work with them, you know, they're not going to be, I mean, he was very complimentary, but you never really see what they really think of you until you see that kind of reaction. And he had such a big reaction that actually would have been great to see something. But it's funny, and that's why it's so exciting.
Yeah, that's the nature of the beast, I guess, isn't it? You know, it's taking people out of their comfort zones. You know, like you say, you're not seeing any audience at all this year either. Just the back of 4 chairs, and just wondering in your mind, do they like it? Asking all these questions. What if they think this? What if they think that? You know, but thankfully, all those doubts were shattered when 2 people spun around. So you knew straight away out of those 2 that Will.I.Am was the one for you, yeah?
Yeah. So I was mainly super excited that he turned. That was like, yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. I was looking at a video from the show of your magnificent, and I must say, a magnificent rendition of Queen's The Show Must Go On. And as of 3 p.m. today, that video has 1,014,996 views, and it's still going. There's probably a lot more since then. That's incredible.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think it hit 1 million yesterday, so that's incredible that it's already even more.
Well, it's like at least 15,000 more now, I would say. That was 3 p.m. today when I was having a look in earlier on. So yeah, well done. That's incredible. Fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's so nice for, you know, someone who does something so different, you know, and it's not your standard you know, kind of music. So that's incredible. Unbelievable.
Brilliant. It's a major accomplishment. So after you joined Team Will.I.Am, So did you think, okay, let's just have a little chat, meet Will.I.Am, then go home? Or did you feel in your gut then that, oh, I could actually go somewhere with this? Because obviously you got through to the semi-finals, which again is a major accomplishment. Talk us through your thought process at that time.
Well, initially it was just like get on his team, and I had no idea what to expect. So obviously when I was working with him, I got the feeling that he was really into what I was about. And I think the most important thing was when I first met him and I kind of told him what I want to do with classical crossover, you know, and I want to put it in the mainstream. I want this music to be popular as it should be. And so it was kind of almost like doing a pitch with like, this is why I'm here. And these are all my ideas. And like, there you go. And I think he really enjoyed that. And I think he appreciated that. You know, we had a lot of Zoom meetings and things over the course of the year. And, you know, he was always very keen to let me kind of run the show. If I had any strong ideas, he let me run with it. And he was never someone to kind of tell me what to do. I think at the very end, when we were preparing for the final, it was like, he was a lot more opinionated with things and giving me a lot more kind of one-to-one advice. And so the longer the process went on, the more we kind of worked on things. And yeah, to be in the studio, the filming studio and things with him was incredible as well, because he would just sit there and watch. And I saw him work with the other acts from the team, and you know, it was so different when he worked with me. And yeah, I just felt really comfortable at the end working with him. And it's so crazy. And I had to pinch myself so many times thinking, this is what am I doing?
I know. Is this really happening to me? You know? Yeah. Amazing. So yeah, major accomplishment, getting through to the semi-finals. That must have been quite a buzz as well. You know, so you must have thought to yourself, oh my God, I could actually win this, you know? Yeah. And you should have.
There were so many incredible singers on his team. And I think also just getting through the battles was so hard, because I watched The Voice in the past and I always thought the battles were the hardest part, because it's literally 50-50. Like there's so many amazing singers who are there, and then half of them just have to go unless they're stolen. So it's really brutal. So getting through that I thought was an enormous accomplishment. But then the semifinals was like even bigger, because there were so many great singers, and I was put up against two incredible vocalists, like one of whom was Welsh. And, you know, so, you know, they were both so good and so different from me as well. So yeah, getting through that was incredible. I started crying on stage. I felt this emotion just like, because I think it was the pressure.
Not the hormones.
Yeah, that's but like the pressure, people don't realize, like you've worked and worked and worked for months at that point. Just to come up with the right song is so important, to pick the right song and then to work it through and again and again and again, and then work on something. And it was real, like I put in some crazy notes, and like, you know, I totally blame myself for it. But, you know, there were a lot of it was a tough song to sing, that arrangement that I'd done, that, you know, I only have myself to blame, but it was really, really tough. And just to do that and to get through the song, and then, you know, without letting your nerves get to you, and then to stand there on stage and to wait for him to pick his, you know, one person gets to go through. It's so scary. And then when he says your name, it's just like, I was just so grateful, because I really felt at that point, you know, I do have something to offer, and people will, you know, they do enjoy this music, and this is something I need to keep doing, because it's not just a pipe dream, and it's not just something, you know, you sometimes think, am I just doing this for fun? Am I just the only one who enjoys this? You know, and but to be on a platform like that and to kind of be recognized for that is so humbling. And yeah, it was just a really great moment, that it was really overwhelming. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I think you've done awesome. You have done spectacular, and you have introduced other people into this genre of music who wouldn't ordinarily take an interest in it, wouldn't ordinarily look at it twice. So I applaud you for that as well. So well done.
That's the goal. Yeah.
That's it. And you're achieving it. It's fantastic. It's a different, it's just, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's just giving people a different look at it from a different perspective, sort of thing. And that lead them on to that genre, if you know what I mean. Do I make sense? Yeah.
That's it.
Good stuff. But all right, putting you on the spot then, because that's what I like to do. I said no hidden traps at the start, didn't I? But it's not a trap, it's a nice one. To sum up your experience on The Voice UK in one word, shoot.
Oh my goodness. In one word.
One or two. Yes, I got you.
That's it. No, I think it's something like it's a pivotal moment because of what I said earlier. Is like it's the moment where I've been thinking in my head, all these ideas and things, and thinking when's the right moment, and then that moment happens in your life where you literally go, this is it. This could be my break. This is. I've been doing music for so long, and a lot of the singers on there, they have an aspiration to be a singer, or they're still, a lot of them are quite young. But I'm in my early 30s, and I've been a professional singer for years. But to kind of come up with something that's fresh and new, and I've been trying it for a long time, and to suddenly be there, doing it and going, oh, this could be it. That was. So I guess it's like a pivotal moment in my career, where things might change. The tide might turn.
And has it?
Yeah, I feel like it is. And it's a slow tide. I mean, it's not, I feel like it's really put me on the right path now and like honed in everything. So, and I get to speak to nice people like yourself. So that I think is a great step forward, and and to get more people into this music is my goal. So that is, I just hope that more people follow me and just ask for support and things, and hope people are into my music. Really
brilliant. So well, clearly people are into your music, and clearly people were anyway. I've got you, correct me if I'm wrong, your first independent single release in 2020, Fall on Me, shot straight to #1 on the official iTunes classical charts, surpassing Andrea Bocelli.
Mental.
Holy, that's amazing.
Yeah. And
did you see that one coming?
No, not at all. So that was pretty cool. The reason I released those singles was because I have a brother who suffers from lupus, and I started releasing music to raise funds for him.
Excellent. So, I was going to ask you about the charity as well. Rainbow Charity. Plug away. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I set that up because my brother was really, really ill, and he needed a lot of funding for medical treatment and things, and just life costs and things. When you're ill, it costs so much, and I just wanted to do my part. And my brother is he wanted to be a musician, he wanted to write music, and then just had to put everything on hold because he got so. So I wanted to do my part to release music and to start raising funds for him. And so that's all I did. I set up a PayPal and started releasing singles, and it literally goes straight to him. And that's just from that, I'd never released any music before, and I had no record label or anything. Was literally doing everything myself, and managed to get singles in the #1 spot. So I was so blown away, just that people would be so supportive and lovely, and it sends a good message. People are nice, and I like that.
Definitely. That's awesome. Amazing accomplishment, and my hat's off to you for setting up that charity for your brother as well. That's such a beautiful thing to do. So well done on that as well. That's awesome. And not only did the single go very well, don't you play it down on you now. Don't you play it down. It surpassed Andrea Bocelli. Come on, let's acknowledge that. That's amazing. And various other people as well. But no, that's incredible. Well done. So stepping back into the now then, if we can. So what's going on in the world of Nadia Eide right now? What's happening at the moment? I know you've released a new single in June. Tell us about that first of all.
So I just kind of wanted to start releasing more music, and it was kind of just a little taster of the kind of stuff I like to do. So that was a single I did with one of my friends. I got him to play on it. He's an incredible violinist. And it's called Io ti penso amore. And it's David Garrett. It's based on a theme by Paganini. And it's got a beat to it, and it's a little bit more modern, but still filmic, because I like this filmic quality in all my music. But right now I am busy recording my album, which is coming out in the beginning of September. It's a huge project, so I've been spending all the time since getting off The Voice until now just preparing for it.
Excellent.
So I've been putting together a lot of good songs. So if there are any rock or metal or pop fans out there, especially rock metal, there is a ton of stuff that I basically am gonna completely reimagine.
Fantastic. I can't wait. I'm there. Yeah, you've called me out then. Yeah, definitely.
Like Metallica, Muse, that kind of music. It's that's basically what I'm about. So I've taken a lot of those kind of tracks and completely changed them up. So, they're going to be epic. Like if you like Hans Zimmer and you like Metallica, it's kind of a child of the two,
Awesome. Oh, intriguing.
Yeah. So I've been doing that, and I'm literally, I was in there yesterday, and I'm going back tomorrow again to finish off the vocals. But yeah, so that'll come out in beginning of September, which will be really, really cool.
Fantastic. Does it have a name yet? Have you named the album?
It's going to be called Reimagined.
Excellent.
Yeah, and then I'm going on a little UK tour after that, and I just feel so lucky to be able to do that, because it's so difficult for any musicians now to get out there and get bookings, live bookings. So I just feel incredibly grateful that I've managed to do that. And we booked that straight off the bat of The Voice, and going around the UK doing some dates, and hopefully it'll lead to more dates around the UK. So
fantastic. What's that, October time, is that?
Yeah, September, end of September, and then through October, just all around the UK. So yeah,
excellent
it'll be
stuff.
So nice to be out there singing live again.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. How long has it been since you've done a live gig then?
For an audience, gosh, well over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you can't wait to get back out there.
I can't wait, because it's my favorite part of singing. It's meeting the audiences, doing live gigs, live concerts are my favorite. I love recording music and I love coming up with new ideas, but nothing beats doing live singing. And to meet your audience after is what I love. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, I wish you all the best with that. It's going to be fantastic. How many dates have you got booked at the moment?
I think it's about nine days.
Excellent. Yeah. That's quality. Brilliant stuff. And where exactly are you going? Do you know offhand?
All over.
Yeah, just from the top of the map to the bottom, is it?
Yeah, it's mainly around England, and a few kind of in the Midlands, one or two up north, and then a lot down south as well.
Excellent.
Nice and spread out. So I'm sure there'll be something close to any kind of big city, and then obviously London as well. So yeah, it's all on my website, by the way. So if you go to nadiaeide.com, all the tour dates are there. You can check out the music, any kind of music releases. You can sign up to my mailing list, and you get a free download. Like, there's lots of stuff on my website. So if people want to check it out and see what's nearest to them, then they can do that. And yeah.
Fantastic. I was going to ask you, where do people keep up to date with you, but you've just done that for me. You're also on Instagram, Twitter, all the socials. So you can keep up to date with Nadia there. I think the website you've plugged, Twitter, is at Nadia Eide. And on, no, that's Instagram, sorry. And on Twitter, it's at Nadia Eide Soprano, yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Fantastic. Right, before I let you go and get on with your super busy life and get back to them boys, any plugs, shout outs or acknowledgements before we wrap up that we might not have covered?
Oh my goodness. Want to shout out to my mom? No, joking.
Go for it.
No, I think that's it. I would love for people to buy my album when it comes out. If it's better if it goes on YouTube, because then it goes into the classic charts. So that's a good place to get the album when it comes out, beginning of September. And then please come and see me live in concert. I'm touring with Vox, the West End Tenors, who are 4 incredible vocalists, male vocalists who I've worked with over the years. And yeah, they're awesome. And so if you like, they do a lot of rock and pop and stuff as well. So there's going to be something for everyone in these concerts, really.
Brilliant stuff. That's epic. Nadia, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, you know where to find her. All the links will be in the description here. We're going out on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, etc., etc. Other platforms are also available, and it will also be available on there. Nadia Eide, everybody. Woohoo!